There's Ivan Yurigin, probably the Soviet Union's most famous wrestling figure. Because Yurigin, like American folk hero Dan Gable, is also a 1972 Olympic gold medalist and has been his country's Olympic coach for the past 8 years. He and Dan Gable's careers have been intertwined now for more than 15 years, and the two share a unique sports camaraderie. Earlier, I talked with both of these individuals about their relationship.
Dan Gable у нас в Советском Союзе знают все.
Like everybody knows Dan Gable in Soviet Union.
Его узнают, и, конечно, он популярный очень борец.
He's being recognized in the streets, and he's very popular.
И по приезду сюда мы еще раз убедились, что его очень любят здесь, в Америке, и, конечно, вот на родине здесь, и в этом штате мы считаем, что этот штат один из самых, где любят борьбу.
And we see that he's very popular here too, and especially here in this city, in this state, which we consider the restless state of the United States.
И он очень хороший друг.
And he is a very good friend of mine.
You know, we're friends, but we're not that close of friends to where we let friendship take it easy on the other guy. He knows his role. I've learned my role just from over the many years. He doesn't have a choice. I have a choice, but because of what I've built for myself, I don't have too many choices. And it's like, hey, we come, we greet, we combat, and we greet, and we leave. We exchange a few thoughts. We don't leave together and go out and spend 3 or 4 hours socializing. It may be brief, and it may be to the point, and we may have a little bit of times together, but we don't get so close we start respecting somebody to the point where we don't want to do what we're supposed to be doing.
We're seeing Jim Humphrey there, who is the head coach here officially for this dual meet between the United States and the Soviet Union, which the Soviet Union now leads 3-2 after 5 matches, 3 matches to 2. The winners for the Soviet Union were Kushnir over Vanage at 105. There's Dan Gable. Zambalov over Schwab, and Alexeyev over Jordan, but Barry Davis and Andre Metzger won. Here we are at 163. Neyt Karr, a 3-time national champion, 1 time from Iowa State University for the USA against Aдлан Вараев, whom he beat in the World Cup. Oh, that speed of Karr.
Very important match here. We're going to see a lot of action. And like you said, it was a come-from-behind win when Neyt Karr won the World Cup last spring and beat Varayev.
Terrific speed by Karr, but Varayev countered him so well. Now he's up in a body lock. And does he get exposure? He got 3. The Soviet official said 3. I don't believe there's agreement here. So the match judge...
He's in on the single, cut across to the double, and right here, Nate is giving it up and hoping not to get exposed. The Russian is trying to stay in tight to expose, and he did get 3 points. He took Nate off his feet and to the mat in danger in 1 motion.
So again, Karr is going to have to come from behind. He did it in the World Cup. He's a tremendously physically talented wrestler, Karr. You just never see anybody so fast at this weight.
Well, really, I call him faster than fast. He's really strong, and he's faster than fast. And he gives the Russian team trouble. But right there, we saw him get behind fast, and that's not where we want to be.
Varayev is from a town called Grozny in the southern part of the Soviet Union, Caucasus Mountains. Here's Karr in for a single point takedown. No back exposure, so it's only a point. 3-1.
Well, Nate cannot tie up and keep this match slowed down. He has got to keep a fast tempo, and this is what he's looking for right here.
He got 2.
And what they're saying is he did it right. He did not roll across his shoulder, and you saw some inches.
Oh, no, it went the other way. Oh, no, he struck. The official gave the 2 to the Soviets. Is that right?
That's why the blues are coming. And it's 5-1.
Timeout. We get a little talk here. Here comes the Atamanov, the Soviet official over the referee.
Maybe 1. I don't know if he came back to an elbow or came back to a hand. I'm sure he broke 90.
Now the interpreters are coming into this.
Yeah, it's good. Okay.
Нет, три в стойке.
One red.
Два красному в партере сейчас.
He's looking for two, at least one.
I couldn't see whether he broke 90 or not from where I was at.
One exposure, one exposure.
Да, он один сделал, потом этот два балла.
Well, we got one out of that discussion right there. But it did go against Nate, and he did roll across his shoulders, the official said. 2 against Nate, 1 for him. It's 5-2.
5-2. So it's still a 3-point deficit, or it's a 3-point deficit again with a minute left to go in the first period.
A lot of action in the first 2 minutes in the first period. And that's what you can expect from a Nate Karr match. He changes levels real well. He scurries around, and bang, he hits you.
Karr got the front headlock on a counter against Varayev. What can he do with it? He's very fast, but what a counter by Varayev. He now has the front headlock.
Not bad himself as far as quickness there, Varayev. You know, it's interesting. The USSR has not had a world champion in this weight in the last 13 years. And America has had a lot to do with that.
And Varayev takes the point with a takedown of Nate Karr, and so he goes up by 4.
The Lee Camps, Stan Dezigs, and Dave Schultzes have dominated this weight class, and the Soviet Union is looking to break that dominance.
Well, you see a beautiful move on the top by Varayev. He used an arm bar and took Karr over, so it makes it 8-2, and now Nate's really going to have to go at it here in between periods.
He's got a big hole.
Let's go to Dick Trotter.
Thank you, Doug. Andre Metzger is kind of the old man of the USA wrestling team. Andre, 27?
Yeah.
And how much longer can you go?
I don't know. I'm going to go to 88 and hopefully win the gold in 88. Then from there, I'm going to take it a year at a time.
You had a tough match tonight, 5-3.
Yeah, it was, you know, I gave him the 3 points that he had. I gave them to him. I feel like I'm 15 points better than him, but I really had a poor match. Did prepare well for this. Recruiting kids, trying to get them to come to school with us, and, you know, at Indiana, trying to do the job.
Understand you have some family here tonight.
Yeah, I've got both my sons, Andre and John David. One's 5, one's 2.5, and my wife's here also.
Best of luck to you at 88, Andre.
Okay, thank you very much.
Back to you, Doug.
Now, before we start the second period, let's see what happened in that controversial flurry in the first period.
Well, Nate rolled across his back right here, and they're saying that you see his arm right there. He stopped Nate Karr through the move.
Back to live action again, and Karr is in on the leg. Varayev has countered so well across the body tonight against Karr.
And right here, Nate needs to cut off here and not get caught in on the single leg alone. There he is, cutting across.
Exposure? No. 1 point, and there's agreement among the judges. It's not simply the Soviet official who called that. Takedown 8-3 now for Karr, who did get some exposure on top here early in the first period. And we go back up on the feet. I take that back. He did not. He had his second point on the roll we just saw. Varayev, a very personable young man from Grozny in the Soviet Union, and obviously one heck of a wrestler at 163 pounds.
Well, he's not fancy, but he's solid. I'll tell you, it's very difficult to score on, as we're seeing right here tonight. He tries to slow the match down.
Karr trails by 5, has to come back again. Has a minute and 45 to do it. That was a little bit of a loss of position by Varayev. I was a little surprised at that, but Karr was not able to take advantage of it. He extended himself a little bit in front of Karr. Here's a caution. The referee's looking for one of the judges to agree with him, and he does get it. It's a caution against Karr. Difficult situation when you're down by 5. And Varayev wants Karr down.
No.
There's what's called a gut wrench. It didn't work.
No one. That was good action by Neyt Karr. He needs to get it going right here and do the best he can in the last minute and 10, and you never know what's going to happen.
8-3. They're back on their feet again. But Varayev leads.
You're not going to see Varayev do anything very risky. He's going to give up points before he gives up exposure. Right like that. And he knows he can. Neyt Karr needs to wait for the official to whistle them both back up. He cannot just step away and leave his opponent. Unless, now the opponent has to attack back. But see, no points because the official has to bring him up.
Varayev is totally within his rights to do that. It's 8-4. Again, Karr is in for a point. But there are only 24 seconds to go. And there's a caution.
Caution Nate from walking away from his opponent before the official whistled him back up.
Now that's 2 cautions against Karr. Varayev's where he wants to be. He has the tie over the top. With 15 seconds to go. Five seconds to go. That's Neyt Karr, who got behind very quickly on a 3-point takedown with exposure and hasn't been able to make it up. 8-5. That's where it's going to end. The final score at 163 pounds. Aдлан Вараев of the Soviet Union, 23-year-old from Grozny, the Soviet Union, 8, and Neyt Karr 5.
And now that makes the Soviet 4, the United States 2, with 4 matches left.
Aдлан Вараев. You say he's not as fast as Karr, no, but he's very stable, very strong.